morning everyone. Welcome to our panel discussion on the effectiveness of marine service in ensuring vessel safety in port. And I am Mr. Daniel, your moderator today. Today, we will meet our great panelists who are very experienced in the maritime world. So, we have Ms. Zhao Yun, Safety Officer from Port Klang Department, Madam Maha, our Pilot Master, Captain Juna, Master of every yellow vessel, Mr. Felix, Mooring Gang Leader from the Port Klang, and Mr. Nazri, our Tugboat Master from Port Klang also. Vessel collision and grounding are the main type of maritime incident. 16% according to the latest statistic from the Transportation Safety Board of Canada, worst by traffic congestion, making piloting, towing and mooring very important to handle properly in the world 10 busiest port recognized in 2025, which is Port Klang. So, Ms. Zhao Yun, as a safety officer, your job is to ensure all service at the port are required to comply with safety regulation, right? So, how does Port Klang oversight can make sure all service follow the safety regulation strictly, making the piloting, towing and mooring work better together?
Okay, firstly, the port proposes standard operating procedure for the all maritime service. Pilot, tug operator and also the mooring crews must follow approval guidelines during the berthing and unberthing. This is to ensure everyone's standards, understand their rules and also reducing the risk of the accident. Secondly, strict licensing and competency check are carried out. Only qualified pilots, certified tug master and also training mooring are allowed to operate. Regular training and refresher course must maintain high safety standards. In addition, the port conducts regular inspection, safety audits and also emergency drills to ensure equipment resilience and improve teamwork among the service provider.
Thank you, Ms. Zhao Yun. Very insightful. Captain Juna, as a vessel captain, what has been your experience from the brig while working with a pilot, tugboat and mooring team while at anchor?
As a vessel captain, I have had positive experience working with the pilot, tugboat and mooring team at both Westport and Northport. The pilot provides vital local knowledge for navigating and docking the vessel. For tugboat assists in maneuvering the vessel, especially in tight space or challenging weather. The mooring team ensures the vessel is securely anchored by handling the mooring line. Communication and coordination between all teams is crucial to ensure safety and efficiency.
Alright, thank you, Captain. Port Klang handle 14.6 million TEUs per year, showing how busy port is. This statistic was taken in 2024. So, Madam Maha, as the pilot master, what are biggest navigation challenge in the busy south or north strait of Port Klang during the peak traffic?
As the pilot master, one of our biggest navigation challenges is the high vessel density within the traffic separation scheme. In the north and south strait of Port Klang, with the port handling about 40.6 million TEUs in 2024, many vessels move through the waterways at the same time, especially during peak traffic. The narrow and busy channels make navigation very complex, so we must carefully plan vessel movement and manage traffic sequencing to avoid congestion. So, also effective communication is crucial. Close coordination between marine pilot, tug operation, port control and shipmaster ensures safe navigation. Even a small miscommunication can lead to delay, congestion or ship collisions. Therefore, managing this environment requires strong teamwork, disciplines and responsibility because very decisions truly matters.
Very clear explanation. Thank you, madam. So, Mr. Nazri, as a tugboat master, what equipment or technique do you use the most to safely operate a vessel in the tight maneuvering area of Port Klang?
Thank you, Mr. Daniel. As a tugboat master operation in Port Klang tight maneuvering area, I rely on several key equipment and technology to ensure safe operations. The most important factor is the tugboat height maneuverability, which allow me to position the tug accurately in confined space. I also depend on bow and stern thrusters to make smooth lateral movement, especially when working close to the last vessel. Communication is critical using VHF radio. I stay in constant contact with the port authority, pilot and nearby vessel to coordinate every movement clearly. Navigation tools such as GPS, radar, and electronic chart give me real-time information about traffic and obstacles, which is especially important in low visibility. Physical equipment like fender and mooring line help prevent damage and keep the tug stable during pushing or towing. Most important, maintain strong situational awareness by monitoring tides, current and weather at all times, combined with good teamwork and clear briefing with my crew. This element ensure safe and efficiency operation with Port Klang. Thank you.
Thank you. Great operational detail. So, Mr. Felix, as the mooring gang leader, can you explain a little bit about mooring and what the main safety challenge you face when mooring large vessel, especially during bad weather and peak hours?
Mooring may look simple from the outside, but it's one of the most dangerous jobs at the port. The main challenge we face are the enormous force on the mooring lines, sometimes it reaching up to 10 tons, especially when handling large container vessels. During the bad weather, strong current and wind can cause sudden tension on the rope, which make coordination between the mooring team, tugboat, and pilot critical. Another challenge is peak hour when multiple vessels arrive at once. Fatigue and time pressure can increase the risk of mistake. That's why clear communication and strict adherence to safety procedures are essential.
Thank you, Mr. Felix. Let's talk about pilotage. So, Madam Maha, how did your training prepare you for a smooth handover to the captain in a traffic jam?
Okay, to become a pilot, you must pass the Navy's exam. And complete continuous training pilotage is essential for international logistics because in the case of foreign ship, it is impossible for the vessel's captain to know to the local ports routes. It is the pilots who need to perform the maneuver to ensure the safety of the ship. When I board a ship, I always start by communicating clearly with the captain. We discuss the road, traffic condition, and the plan to enter the port. This ensures that we both understand our roles and responsibilities. In traffic jam situation, I rely on information from the vessel traffic service, carefully monitor the other ship around us. Clear communication and teamwork are essential to avoid confusion. Then the tugboat in turn participate in the maneuver alongside the pilot, and the communication between the pilot via radio is the basis for everything to go as planned.
Captain Juna, how did you work together with the pilot successfully to ensure everything went smoothly without any cooperation?
Okay, thank you, Mr. Daniel, for the question. To work successfully with the pilot, I ensure clear communication before and during operation, including pre-arrival briefing to discuss the approach, weather condition, and docking plans. Mutual respect and trust is essential. I rely on the pilot's local knowledge, while the pilot trusts my understanding of the ship. I stay involved in monitoring the vessel position and making adjustments as necessary, ensuring smooth coordination throughout the operation.
Thank you both. Critical pilotage perspective. Now we will talk about tugboat work. Port Klang Tug had managed a lot of vessels every day in tight channel. Mr. Nazri, can you share a real story where your tug stopped a problem or made docking safer? What made it work well?
That's a good question, Mr. Daniel. One incident that stands out happened during heavy fog when we were assisting a large container vessel entering Port Klang. Visibility was extremely poor, and the vessel risked drifting out of the channel toward moored ships. I immediately contacted the captain to agree on a safe plan and developed two tugboats, one at the bow to steer and vessel, and one at the stern stabilize its movement. Throughout the operation, we maintained continuous communication with the vessel brides, giving real-time update and distant current change and nearby obstacles. In the fog, we essentially become the eyes and guide them step by step. Thanks to clear coordination, careful adjustment, and our local knowledge, we were able to bring the vessel safely to port without any incidents. This experience shows how teamwork, communication, and tugboat capability can prevent serious accidents. That's all.
Alright, thank you Mr. Nazri. For mooring operation, personal protective equipment PPE such as helmet, glove and safety boot are mandatory under Klang Safety Regulation and Safety Management System SMS to handle mooring line with a force of 10 tons. Mr. Pelish, how important is PPE compliance during mooring operation?
Okay, Mr. Daniel. Personal protective equipment (PPE) is not just a rule, it's a lifeline. Helmet, glove, and safety boots protect us from the rope, snapback, heavy equipment, and slippery deck. I have seen cases where a single missing glove lead to severe hand injury when handling wet lines. In bad weather, PPE become even more important because visibility and footing are compromised. Compliance ensure that even if something goes wrong, the risk of serious injury is minimized. For us in the mooring gang, PPE is the first line of our defense. Without it, we are exposed to unnecessary danger.
The Malaysian Maritime Enforcement Agency (MMEA) found that 80% of sea death involved no life jacket, showing how important the use of PPE is in Port Klang. So, Ms. Zhao Yun, does the Port Klang Safety Officer ensure that mooring team has the right PPE and training to make sure that problem will not happen again? And what happens if they are not required to follow PPE guideline?
There is one of the real sea-related death case in Malaysia, which is a fisherman drowning after the boat capsized. In Malaysia, a common sea-related death case investigated by the Malaysian Maritime Enforcement Agency involves fishermen drowning after their boat capsized through the sea condition. In many of these accidents, the victims were not wearing the life jacket, even though some vessels had them on board. When the boats overturned, the strong current and waves make self-rescue is impossible, and those without the life jacket were quickly submerged before the help arrived. Investigation of constantly conclude that the absence of PPE, especially life jacket, was the main factors leading of fatalities, and that wearing the life jacket would have significantly increased the survival chance. Therefore, we mandate that all mooring personnel wear approve personal protective equipment, including the life jacket, helmet, safety boots, and so on. And also, we will also conduct training and competency requirement, including the training on the use of personal protective equipment and emergency response.
Before we close, one last question for everyone. What are the most important improvements that Port Klang need for pilotage, towing, and mooring to take care of safety vessel and avoid accident?
In my opinion, the most important improvement that Prof. Klang needs for pilotage, towing, and mooring are focused on capability. It is because the continuously training and competency improvement should be strengthened. The regular, similar training and emergency drills will help the crews respond better to unexpected situations such as strong current or equipment failures.
In my opinion, from a pilotage perspective, the most important improvement is continuous training and skill enhancement. Marine pilots must regularly undergo simulator training and emergency response exercise to maintain high standard of navigational competency, especially in congested water, and strengthening real-time communication between pilot and vessel traffic service is essential. Clear and fast information exchange help reduce navigational risk during peak traffic.
In my humble opinion, Port Klang needs several improvements to enhance safety and avoid accident, including improvement communication system by upgrading radios and digital tools for clear communication between all teams. Stronger tugboats are also needed by upgrading their engine and technology so they can handle larger vessels in difficult weather conditions. In addition, continuous training should be provided for pilot, tugboat crew, and mooring teams to ensure they stay updated on safety protocol and emergency procedure. The mooring infrastructure should also be reinforced by strengthening mooring line and related equipment so they can support larger ships and withstand harsh weather. Furthermore, better weather monitoring through advanced forecasting tools can provide real-time updates so support safer port operation. Lastly, enhanced traffic management is important to optimize vessel scheduling and reduce congestion, which can help prevent accidents. Overall, the improvement will increase both operational safety and efficiency at Port Klang.
For mooring operation, the most important improvement is strengthening coordination between all three services: pilotage, towing, and mooring. Many accidents happen because of miscommunication or unclear signal, especially during peak traffic. If Port Klang invests more in integrated communication system like real-time digital update between the pilot, tugboat, and mooring gang, we can reduce confusion and act faster. Another key improvement is continuous training and drill for the mooring team, because handling heavy lines under pressure requires both skill and discipline. Finally, upgrading equipment, stronger winches, safer line handling tools, and better PPE will make sure that even in bad weather, our team can secure vessels safely. In short, better communication, better training, and better equipment are the three pillars to avoid accident in the future.
On my side, to enhance safety at the Port Klang, several improvements are essential. First, regular and advanced training for pilot, tug crew, and mooring team is needed so everyone remains prepared for emergency and challenging conditions. Second, the port should upgrade its navigation technology such as radar, AIS, and real-time weather system. To reduce human and aero situational awareness, mooring facility also need strengthening large fender, stronger bollard, and well-maintained equipment are important as vessels grow in size. Communication system should be improved as well, ensuring clear and uninterrupted contact between pilots, tugboat, and the port authority. Lastly, vessel traffic management must be more structured to reduce congestion and create safer maneuvering space. With the improvement, Falkland can significantly increase safety in pilotage, towing, and mooring operation.
Excellent insight. Continuous training, simulator training, and emergency drill were mentioned by everyone. Real-time communication system by twin pilot, TAC, BTS, and mooring team upgrade technologies such as radar, AIS, and weather monitoring for better situation awareness. Strong equipment including TAC, mooring line, PPE, and fenders to handle large vessel, and integrated traffic management to reduce congestion. Most importantly, your solution show that training and coordination are the foundation of safety at Port Klang, the 10th busiest port in the world, handling 14.6 million TEUs annually. This improvement will prevent accident and protect life while ensuring that the pilotage, towage, and mooring process runs smoothly without delay and accident. Thank you, Mr. Yun, Madam Maha, Captain Juna, Mr. Felix, and Mr. Nazri. The session is end.